What's up guys, Phil Smith here and welcome to episode 1 of The Focus, a podcast series where we discuss the main goings on in football. Today we're going to be discussing the release of the Premier League fixtures, which of course came out on Wednesday. And to do so I'm joined by Will Hardy.
Hi there.
Hi, and we are going to be discussing the opening day fixtures and what it could mean for the start of this season. So first question to Will, which fixture kind of stands out for you on the opening day?
Opening day wise, I'd say it would be the Arsenal-Liverpool game. Obviously, it was top of the billing on when it first came out, straight at the top, because obviously Arsenal is A, so obviously they're the first to sit at the top. Arsenal is a good one. It's two big teams, always going to have a good battle against each other. I think, to be fair, pending on transfers in and out with the pair of them, either way it'll be a tasty one to go at. I'm hoping it'll be, I'd say, we'll go with a Liverpool win, I'd hope. But again, that's just pending on transfers. I think Liverpool come out all guns blazing this year, even with transfers, I'd say. How about yourself?
It would be the same for me. Arsenal-Liverpool is probably the standout game. It is really important that Arsenal get off to a good start this season.
Well, they did last season and Liverpool ended up.
Yeah, could be said for that, but Wenger's already under pressure going into this season after what would feel was a missed opportunity last season to win the title. Obviously, with the big team, shall we say.
Yeah, well, same with Liverpool a few seasons ago. There was their chance in that Gerrard slip against Demba Ba and all that
the
stuff.
Infamous one,
Yeah.
Yeah, so just to go through the opening day fixtures as a whole, it's Arsenal versus Liverpool, as we've been saying. Bournemouth take on Jose Mourinho's Manchester United. Burnley hosts Swansea, Burnley back in Premier League. Antonio Conte's first game in charge of Chelsea is at home to West Ham. Crystal Palace versus West Brom. Everton with Ronald Koeman in charge, they take on Tottenham. Newly promoted Hull take on the champions Leicester. We'll talk about that in just a second. Manchester City take on Sunderland in Pep Guardiola's first home game in charge. Newly promoted Middlesbrough take on Stoke, and Southampton versus Watford. Two new managers will be going head to head there.
Yeah. Obviously for yourself, being a Southampton fan, you're obviously upset for losing Ronald Koeman, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated with the club. I'm frustrated with Koeman himself. We can't continue getting rid of managers and players and keep getting away with it. I think this could be a struggle this season for us.
To be fair, you've got a decent enough squad. I think as long as you keep... If you keep a few, then you're fine. Especially your defenders. You did well last season. And, okay, getting rid of Koeman is a bad thing, but depending on the other manager coming in, you're the same. Unfortunately, it's the same with Hull City at the moment. This whole takeover we've got now. Okay, Hull City Leicester is a fantastic thing. Personally, for me, it's the second biggest game of the opening day.
Yeah, I'd say that.
Because it's the playoff winners against the champions. Okay, we drew against them in the Capital One Cup. And then beat on penalties, and they were on form then. It was just after that they lost form. Same with Swansea, they've got Burnley. I'd say Burnley could pip them on that one, maybe just, especially at Turf Moor, as every football fan knows, or at least every Hull fan. Burnley is our bogey team. Always have been, always will be. Fair if you haven't beat them last year at home 3-0, fantastic. But we went to theirs and lost 1-0. It's like bit iffy, bit kind of twos and fro's on that one.
And the thing with Burnley, I know you haven't had a chance to read into their first 6 fixtures, but they've got some tough games. They've got Chelsea and Liverpool away on game week 2 and 3.
We've got them all here anyway, haven't we?
Yeah, we'll be looking into them.
Yeah, we'll look at them later on, so it's fine. So, but can just focus on these the other fixtures there. Like you said earlier, Bournemouth against Jose Mourinho. I wasn't even saying Bournemouth against Manchester United. They're against Mourinho. It's basically, have they actually faced Mourinho yet?
Yes, they did when they went and beat them at Stamford Bridge last season 2-1, I think.
Was Mourinho still there?
He was still in charge.
That's fair enough then.
I believe it was anyway.
Fair enough. Well, like I said, if anybody listening to this has any other points to the contrary about Jose Mourinho being manager of Chelsea against Bournemouth when they first came up, please tell us and put in the comments below. I think Palace, West Brom, Chelsea, West Ham, they're going to be... Okay, London derby, Chelsea, West Ham.
Yeah, many feel there are bigger London derbies, such as Arsenal, Tottenham.
Exactly, yeah, but I'm just saying it's a derby for that day, so you kind of got that one.
Conte's first game in charge as well.
Yeah, it will be.
And West Ham looking very busy in the transfer market already. today, when we're recording this, announcing the signing of Sofyan Feghouli. So that's another good signing. We'll be doing another podcast really based on transfers and stuff in the coming weeks.
Yeah, we'll go to that one.
Right, so we're going to look into the fixtures in a bit more depth. We're going to start with the champions, Leicester, of course. Brilliant to see them win the championship last season.
Yeah, it was definitely good. I think a lot of fans, mostly neutral ones, obviously. I think toward the end, some bigger club fans were rooting for Leicester to win it, so that everyone could have another bite of the apple this time round and not think, another one ticked off for like a Chelsea not Chelsea, but like Man U, Man City, Arsenal. None of them got it. It was it literally came down to Tottenham and Leicester, which was great.
Yeah,
I loved that. I loved the end of that season. Okay, they're all their first six. Sorry, they were open with Hull away, then Arsenal at home, Swansea at home, Liverpool away, Burnley at home, and Man United away.
Some tricky games in there, isn't it?
But to be fair, they're all. You said about any team, they're all winnable. To be fair, aren't they? I think they beat all, apart from obviously Hull and Burnley.
No, they didn't beat Arsenal at the King Power. I think they lost 5-2 at the King Power last season, and then they lost obviously in the last minute at the Emirates. So they did struggle against Arsenal last season.
What I was going to say was, I think they beat most of them, is what I was going to say, but you butted in. I know they beat Man U because Vardy got his goal. Oh no,
that was a draw.
That was a draw, wasn't it? I do apologise.
They definitely beat Liverpool at the King Power. Yeah,
and I know they beat Swansea at some point.
Yeah, they did. I think both times.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
but they're winnable games for them, so it's not too bad. But no, it's. But I agree, it's a tricky start for the champions.
How many points would you say that they should get from them?
As a Hull fan, I would like it to be a win for Hull, but I would say it's a draw.
I'm going with a draw or now a Leicester win for that one.
So I give that 1 point.
It's always difficult to play newly promoted teams right at the start of the season.
Yeah, so I say 1 point for that. Home to Arsenal, I'll say a draw. I'm going to give them a draw because I think they'll bolster it. Yourself?
I reckon Arsenal win.
Fair enough. Swansea, I say give them that's a win, especially being at home.
Yeah.
Liverpool away, draw.
I reckon Liverpool win, to be honest.
Fair. Burnley, I say they'll beat them at home, especially with it being home. Like I said before, Turf Moor's tough, but
yeah, should beat them at the King.
Man United, I think they'll go out and want to win them again. So
it's a tricky one now, and it depends what kind of Manchester United turns up.
True. Well, the thing is that they've got them in the Charity Shield, haven't they, first?
Yeah.
So all eyes will be on that one first, and then four more games after that they play them again. So it will be interesting.
So you're saying?
So is it 1, 3? So it's 5, 6. No, 5, 6. Yeah, 9, 12.
I'm saying 7 or 8.
Oh.
I'm being a bit harsh, sorry, Leicester fans.
No.
Right, go on to Arsenal next, who did finish above the rivals Tottenham in the end last season into second. They start with Liverpool at home, the eagerly anticipated fixture, then Leicester away, I've been saying. Watford away, Southampton at home, Hull away, and then Chelsea at home. It's an interesting start for Arsenal, isn't it?
It's a good one, I think. It's a good one to kind of show their credibility for this season, I think. Sorry if you can hear these now, I'm just sorting my cup out my coffee. Keep me awake.
Yeah, so...
It's good coffee, that, thanks.
There's... I made the coffee. There's some really good-looking fixtures in there. Like, it's important that they have these home games, I think, to the big clubs, because they used to have, like...
Southampton's not a big club, sorry. I know you're Southampton fan, but they're not a big club. But I know what you mean, yeah, the 2 home games to Liverpool and Chelsea. Yeah.
They used to have a real problem against the so-called big clubs. I remember just so much talk about them doing that. But I remember them going to Manchester City, might have been season before last, or was it last season? Can't remember. And they went there and won, I believe. And since then, they've been pretty good against the big clubs. I remember they gave Man United a bit of a lesson last season at the Emirates.
Well, it's a London derby, and like we said earlier, obviously Chelsea have a London derby technically, not technically, it is against West Ham, but it's a small one. Give it be. Obviously, derbies are not really that small because it's a good rivalry, but it is a big one. It's a big London derby, that one, because it's 2 big clubs going head to head.
I honestly think that's a decent fixture list for Arsenal in the first 6. I reckon they can win all them games. Maybe not Chelsea. And it depends what kind of Liverpool team turns up. If it's the Liverpool team that I remember smashed Man City at the Etihad, then they might not have much of a chance. But if it's the Liverpool side that got smashed by Swansea at the Liberty, I know it's a new season, but...
It depends. I'm going to start getting interrupted by people. But never mind.
So moving on to Tottenham next, they go to Ronald Koeman's Everton on the opening day. Crystal Palace at home, Liverpool at home, Stoke away, Sunderland home, Middlesbrough away, a couple of North East teams at the end of their first 6 fixtures.
Which is nice to see Middlesbrough. It's nice to see Middlesbrough back in the fray. I think
very big club.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, I've missed them.
Same.
I used to love Middlesbrough being in the top.
The owner Steve Gibson has pumped so much money into that club over the years. They deserve to be back up.
So what? We beat them 3-0 at the KC Stadium or the KCOM Stadium now. But the whole thing is just, I don't know. We go and beat them, and then we go and lose them. I think.
It was in the last minute. It was on a Friday night.
Yeah, I watched it.
Yeah.
And then the Birmingham game, a couple of days, I think it was a week after, we lost. And I was like, what is going on here?
The
whole Birmingham is a midweek
I thought you were
game.
on about Middlesbrough Birmingham.
No, the whole Birmingham, sorry.
Okay.
But yeah, sorry. As me being a whole fan, I'll go into the whole things a lot, but I do apologise for that. It's fine. Phil will probably stay more professional and not going about his Southampton team. There you go. But still, we're 2 football fans that enjoy talking about the logistics of football as well. We love our teams, but at the same time, we love football. So we'll go in, that's why we like going into detail about everything.
I think Everton away to start the season is a tough game, especially with the new manager effect at Everton.
Yeah, I'm so hoping Everton get a new goalkeeper.
Everton wants a new goalkeeper. They will because
I want them to get Joe Hart for 40 million. I don't know why.
That would be interesting.
If they get them, I'll be like, yep, I'm happy.
The thing is, they have the money now, don't they?
True, they do. And also, look what they did for Arsenal. Arsenal just bought a goalkeeper, and then in the transfer window of January, they bought not Abu. What the?
El Neni.
Yep. Who's Abu?
I think you might be thinking of Emmanuel Aboué.
Yeah, probably, but never mind. But yeah, El Neni. And he is a talent. So if Liverpool, if Everton go do that, that's pretty neat, I think.
Yeah, obviously they've been linked with a few goalkeepers with Tim Howard. I think either retiring or going over to America.
We'll look into that later on for the other fixtures.
Yeah, they've been linked with Fraser Forster, Jasper Cillessen, and obviously Joe Hart. Be interested to see what they do with the millions that they've got now.
Well, it's good to see they actually have. Palace, Tottenham will win that one. Liverpool, I'd say they'll draw that one, to be honest.
It'll be a good game. It's one of those games I think will have goals in it.
Yeah, I'll give that one a good draw.
Stoke is an interesting one because it's usually a difficult place to go, but Tottenham went there last season and demolished them.
I know, but it depends. The thing is, we can look at these and look at them on last season and let's not say dick around, but they can look around. It depends on how it's going to happen. It depends on transfers, depends on how it's going to be team, the morale, they give anything put into it. But on last season, yeah, you're right. Tottenham went there and completely obliterated them. But then again, the Britannia is always at the beginning of the season. The Britannia is always tough.
Yeah, I'm just looking at their fixtures and thinking 16 out of 18 points. I can see them getting with the 2 drop points coming against Liverpool. I reckon they will go to Everton and beat them.
No, I think they'll drop points against Everton. I think they'll drop points against Everton and Liverpool. I'll be honest.
Okay. Fair enough. Middlesbrough will be a tough game though.
It will be tough, but I think they'll beat them.
Yeah.
So we'll come back to obviously Middlesbrough later on in this little segment.
Obviously Manchester City, a lot of excitement around them at the moment.
Well, yes, of course. How can it not be?
Yeah. Will there be a Pep effect? Obviously it's signed Gundogan already after so many brilliant players, Sane, Aubameyang, and they've got a decent looking fixture list, bar Manchester United away. I think that could be a tough one, but apart from that I do not see any problems.
For me, that's out of all of them. Obviously the Arsenal one, they've got Chelsea in the first 5. They've got a derby in themselves. They've got the Manchester derby. So we've got a London derby, a Manchester derby, already straight off the bat. It's great.
It'll be interesting to see Guardiola and Mourinho bump heads again after their time in La Liga.
Oh god, yeah, it'll be fantastic. I think it'll show a lot of character in the managers, because they faced each other in one league. Now they're facing each other in a new league.
I don't know about you, but I'm so excited for the new managers that are in this league. Obviously, Klopp came in last season at Liverpool. We've got Mourinho, Guardiola, Conte. It's just fantastic to have all these top draw managers. And the only manager I think the Premier League is missing now is Simeone. Diego Simeone, the Atletico Madrid manager.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but it's like I will say this, and I think a few Hull City fans I've spoke to around at the KC Stadium have always said the same thing. What is wrong with English managers? There's nothing wrong with an English manager. Absolutely nothing wrong. But the problem is, actually, not even English. I've said British. For the simple fact of, Alex Ferguson was Scottish. And he was the best manager, I will have to say, of all time. Because he had that Manchester United team running perfectly. It took money to buy the Man City title off United.
Oh, yeah.
And the season next, Man U won it back. The season after that, Man City won it because they've changed managers. And then that was it, done.
Yeah, the change of managers for Man City has been pretty important to win them.
I was mostly meaning actually Ferguson going and Moyes coming in.
Oh, yeah.
That was a big change on that one, and they screwed about with him. But anyway, I'm digressing for the fixture bits on this point. Man City wise, yeah, what? Sunderland they'll win, Stoke they'll win, West Ham they should win even though they lost.
Last season.
Yeah. Draw against United.
I agree, yeah.
Bournemouth win, Swansea win.
Yeah, I pretty much agree with everything. Maybe a little bit of a struggle at Swansea, but I think they'll come through. So I'm saying 16 out of 18 points for City.
I agree with that then.
Yeah. And moving on to the rivals, Manchester United, obviously Mourinho in charge. And so much excitement in Manchester with new managers and potential probably new signings for both clubs.
They've got 3 home games in the first 6. They're going to be important for him, I think, for Mourinho. Okay, fair enough. He's seen his first win at Old Trafford when his team won at Sported.
Yeah. So at least he's got off to a winning start.
It's very true. It's very true. It was a good match though. I enjoyed watching it.
Yeah.
Shame about the red cards. I thought they didn't need him in that, but
I never watched the game, to be honest.
Digressing on that one.
So the fixtures for Manchester United, if you haven't seen them already: Bournemouth away, Southampton at home, Hull City away, Manchester City at home, as we've been saying, Watford away, and the champions Leicester at home.
That one, again, like we said earlier with Leicester, they're playing them in the Charity Shield, and then they're playing them again. It will be an interesting time for them, depending on who wins it. It's basically right. We've got 5 games to pick it out, and then go right. We need to win. We need to beat them, or we need to do whatever. Their running though is bar Man City and Leicester, and I hate to say it, so I apologise, Hull fans. It is an easy run
at the start of the season.
Yeah. Bar Man City and Leicester, it's an easy run. Again, I say this, and please don't shoot me down for this one, Hull fans, because I am a Hull fan, and I will always be a Hull fan. I think they're just... It's down to transfers. I'll say it on every time. It will be down to the transfers and what is going to happen at Hull City at the moment. I don't know, but we'll go into that later on in this podcast. But moving on from them guys, I think if you take the other 2 of them, call them draws, so they drop 4 points of 18.
You're saying 4 points?
They'll drop 4 points. Yeah, I think they'll drop.
I reckon they'll just drop the 2 against Man City.
No, I think they'll draw against Leicester as well.
To be fair, I did say when we were talking about Leicester that they might get some at Manchester United, so I'm kind of contradicting myself there. So yeah, they might drop 4 points. So we've talked about the Manchester clubs, the champions Leicester. What about Chelsea? Obviously with Antonio Conte now in charge.
They need a better start than last season.
Oh yeah.
You go from Manchester United, they've got Mourinho, fair enough, but he'd had a really bad start last season. Chelsea, their first 6, West Ham, Watford, Burnley, Swansea, Liverpool, Arsenal.
What they need to do is get that...
the final 2 are the only tough games. If you looking at that from last season, even with Burnley newly promoted, the first 4 are easy as Easy.
Yeah.
That team they've got, you can pick that up and put them in any other club, and they will score.
Mm-hmm.
You put them with Mr. Abramovich, and they go, oh, we can't play today. Why? We just don't want to play.
Yeah, some of the attitude last season wasn't good, was it?
What happened to Hazard? Disappeared.
He scored his first goal, I think.
Was it the second to last game or something? Third to last game?
Third to last game, something like that, away at Bournemouth.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, what? It's like, again, what we'll obviously later on these podcasts, we will be talking about our fantasy football teams. Hazard was in mine from point one. I loved playing him the season before. He was getting me loads of goals. He was there with Suarez, Sanchez, and Aguero. Fantastic one. Last season, he disappeared.
I think Chelsea, obviously, they had, in Mourinho's first reign as Chelsea manager many years ago, they had that amazing home record. They need to get that sort of home record back because they were so vulnerable last season defensively.
It's the defence. But John Terry...
They're giving him new one-year contracts.
Because I knew they gave him 1 year because he was a rock for them after Mourinho went. I don't know what happened there. But as soon as Mourinho went, he just went, right, let's park the bus. And he did.
Yeah.
And they did still lose the odd game, but not as badly as
they went on a really long unbeaten run once Hiddink came in, and then they fell off again at the end of the season. It's
a good interim, but that's in they always have interims and then bring in a new guy, which I don't tend to like sometimes. But anyway,
so it's a decent start for Chelsea. It's just them two Liverpool and Arsenal fixtures.
I think it's a guaranteed first 12 points at least.
Maybe this Swansea game might be tough, but.
I say it's a guaranteed first 12. I'm not going to say anything for the Liverpool Arsenal. Even though earlier I did say Arsenal probably draw, I'm still... Because I could have just talked about Arsenal. Now I'm actually talking about Chelsea, thinking about it, I don't want to mention I'll stick with a draw, so it's technically dropping... I'll just give them an extra point there, so it's 13. So there you go.
Fair enough. Right, we're going to move on to the promoted teams.
New boys.
Burnley, Hull, and we're going to start off with the champions from last season, Burnley. They start with Swansea at home. Then these fixtures I was talking about: Liverpool away, Chelsea away, Hull at home, Leicester away, and Watford at home. Tough start for Sean Dyche's team.
But their advantage is, if you look at it, the 3 home games
are winnable.
Unfortunately, yes. Because they beat Hull last season at home.
Yeah.
Swansea and Watford are not regarded as tough teams. Even though the Premier League quality, the pair of them, I will not take anything away from them teams, they are not regarded as Premier League, not quality, I say elite. The elite is like the top, I'd say, 7 of last season. That was the elite. They're always there,
so
around
they're
there.
In there then, the top 7?
Yeah, no, they're right. They were around there all the time. And they just pipped... Did they get a European spot?
Yeah.
So they got pipped into the European. Is it qualification or straight to group?
Straight to group, I believe.
So it's better than last season then.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, it's good. But again, with Chelsea, Sean Dyche needs to make sure Toughmore is a fortress. Like any team, they need to make sure the home form is a fortress.
Yeah. It's so important.
I know it's literally impossible for every team to have a perfect home record. Because if they do, then that means it's going to be 0-0 all the way through the season. And that ain't going to happen. If that ever happened, then somebody's cashing in some money somewhere.
Obviously, I remember years ago when Burnley first came up, in their first spell in the Premier League, I think it was, their home form was decent, but I don't think they won a single away game in that Premier League season years ago.
That's the thing. You've got to look at the away games that are winnable. Now, okay, we haven't spoke about them for any other teams, but you look at the back end of Burnley, their last 6, away to Everton, away to Crystal Palace, and away to Bournemouth. Them 3 away games, potentially, where they are winnable and relegation saving.
Yeah, obviously it's too early to speak about.
Exactly, yeah, no, but I'm just saying if it came to that. I remember when we were just talking to a load of Hull City fans on the Hull City fans forum, we were still talking about when we get promoted, who we're going to face at the end of the season, all the fixtures like that. We would have loved some, back from the Premier League, sorry, not the Championship. We would have loved the last game of the season that we had when we got relegated, the Man United match. We would have loved that match to be, we had to beat United or draw to win. And I remember still sat around it. We were actually in hope that could happen. And it was true. We needed to win and Newcastle to lose.
I remember that.
And I was like, we're just there. And then when we heard Newcastle scored a goal, we were down. We just got downhearted. But we were still drawing and we're still chanting and going. But it's just that we need to make creative out here. Simple as. To make your home team go, you need to create the right atmosphere.
And Burnley have that atmosphere.
Yeah, they do.
Definitely. Yeah, they've always had it.
Yeah, and that's like a few teams also do it. Man United, they can make that place rock. Anfield, the Cop, it's fantastic. Yeah. When I went there with Holiday a couple of years ago, it was brilliant. I loved it there. And you've got multiple different other. I'm only just going on places I've been to. I haven't been to Old Trafford. I've only watched on TV. I will be going this season with Hull though, because I've said to my boss at work, I am going. So when you listen to this, Carl, I am going. But also he has said I've got to take him to both our Hull games to Liverpool because he's a Liverpool fan, like your cousin Ricky.
Yes.
So basically for me, I've got to go to away to Anfield. Oh dear, what a shame. I'm going to go away to Man United because I want to. I'm going to have to go away to Man City. Oh dear, what a shame for my little brother. And then the home games as well, because I will be renewing my season pass that I've got into the membership, but I will be making sure I get the cheapest one out of it. Because if I don't get the cheapest one, it will be pointless.
Okay, going on to Hull, the fixtures now.
Sorry, that's why I was going to...
that led us quite nicely into...
That's why I kind of led in, because I was going to say we'll leave Hull to last, but I got a little bit ranty there, so I do apologise for that.
Shall I leave the honours to you to read out the first 6 fixtures then?
Thank you very much. The Hull's fixtures, as most Hull fans would have read and been bantering about all day, would be Leicester at home, Swansea away, Man United at home, Burnley away, Arsenal at home, Liverpool away.
It's a tough set of fixtures.
Tough. For me, when I looked at that, I said Swansea win, that's it.
I think the game after Liverpool is also Chelsea straight after Liverpool as well. So the seventh game.
And then is it? Oh yeah, you're right. Like, so I saw top 5 first. So the Liverpool game I didn't know about. It was the top 5 that was on the Instagram and everything. But yeah, so that fair enough. But we drew against Arsenal. We drew against Liverpool last time in the Premier League away at Anfield, and we beat them at home 1-0. So.
Was this when Brendan Rodgers was still in charge of Liverpool?
Yes, I think so.
It would have been the season after their title collapse.
Yes, it was. Yeah, because it was I wasn't a season pass holder when they got to the FA Cup final, but I did go to both. I went to the Brighton replay, Sunderland game, the Sheffield United semi-final, and the final against Arsenal, which all Hull City fans know, and every fan in the world. Even the proper Arsenal fans, not the little armchair ones, know Hull City deserve to win it more than them. Because now it's changed to the Emirates FA Cup. Oh, I wonder why. But anyway, we digress from this. I think we can beat Burnley away. I will be honest, we can. But, again, like I said for all the other teams, it is down to transfers. Now we'll go into like talking about our respective teams, Hull and Southampton, in a few other podcasts before they start the season, because, well, let's face it, I'm a Hull fan, you're a Southampton fan. We'll want to really dig into it a lot more. But I looked at that this morning. I only saw the top 5.
You're not going to like what I'm going to say, but I'm just thinking to myself, points wise, what they're going to get. I'm saying 2 points.
Who we get them off?
Leicester. Maybe Leicester 1 point and Swansea 1 point, and nothing against Burnley.
No, I say literally we're gonna get 4. 4th the first 2, and that's it.
I'd say that would be a decent start. 4 points.
4th the first 2, and that'll be it. The Liverpool away game is going to be a tough one, and that will come down to Arsenal. If we can just hold our own for over 2 seasons at least this time, and really establish ourselves as a decent, at least top 12 team. Right? Because
turn yourself into maybe a West Brom kind of team. Because
I was more looking at like Watford and Bournemouth.
They've only been here for 1 season now.
I know, but I mean, I'm kind of looking at their first seasons were good. Hull's, both their seasons have always been in the bottom, from 15 downwards. They've never been any higher when it came to the end of the season. So we need to look at ourselves and look at them and go, well, what do they do that we can replicate? And we can replicate it because we've got a decent team, but it's just down to transfers. And then obviously, Middlesbrough. Runners up.
They came up through. No, they did
the
come
runners
second.
up.
Yeah, I was about to say they came up through the playoffs, but they didn't.
That was Hull.
With Modiami. Obviously, Middlesbrough starting off with Stoke at home. What a game! Sunderland away. North East derby straight away.
That's good. That in itself is a derby.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
I love having that. It's a shame, obviously, with Newcastle. It would be brilliant for all three of them to be there.
They'll be straight back up, Newcastle.
Yeah, they got Rafa for 3 more years. Of course they're going to be back up.
Yeah.
Rafa's going to propel it.
So Stoke away, Sunderland home, West Brom away, Palace home, Everton away, Tottenham home. I don't know about you, but them fixtures are pretty attractive to me.
I think they're pretty attractive for every Middlesbrough fan, because you think about it, away days, you've got the derby that is a first away day. You cannot ask for any better thing to start your season, is that. You've got West Brom. They didn't really do that well last season, but it's Tony Pulis. He's still in the Premier League. He's unrelegatable.
Yeah. He's a little bit like Sam Allardyce. Unrelegatable. Because he hasn't been relegated in his career, I don't think, from the Premier League.
I think he has. I think he has been once.
Might have been like in the 1990s or something.
But he still has been once. Anyway. But yeah, the West Brom game, tasty. It's a away day. Be alright because it's Pulis, unrelegatable. Palace at home. Alan Pardew.
Depends which Palace turns up, whether or not it's the Palace that we saw for most of last season or the Palace that are brilliant at the end and really good at counter-attacking.
The thing is, the end season, look at them against United in the FA Cup final. They should have won that. That was down to Clattenburg.
Yeah, I was watching it.
Literally, just on this one, guys, when you listen to this one, we will be doing a lot more of these podcasts, and the main one will be from a Saturday. We will be doing not so much live, but we will be doing it straight after most of the 3 o'clock fixtures, and we will rant about a couple of refs because I have a few I don't like, and I think Phil might have as well.
Yeah, I have a few, but I can never remember their names because they're all just.
I'm the same until I read the program, and then I go, it's him. Because I remember the others. I just look at the picture and I go, I know him. He did this to us. And then my little brother goes, yeah, it's true. I'm over the 16th, God's sake. Everton away. Again, a good away day for him.
Going to Merseyside, yeah.
Middlesbrough haven't been up in the Premier League for many years, which me as a football fan is a bad thing. I remember them in the Premier League as a good mid-table side, and then they just dropped.
They were European side, really, weren't they?
Yeah.
Playing in Europe.
Well, look at what, if you want to go down European side, look at us first.
Yeah.
Champions of Europe. Now then the Championship. And then Tottenham at home. I think they'll draw against Stoke. I think they'll beat Sunderland.
I don't.
I think they will. I think they'll go out literally full on attack. I think if they do a sneaky move, and I wish Hull would do it, but they won't. But I think if Middlesbrough go and buy, because I think he's a free agent now, because you guys released him, Gaston Ramirez.
Yes, we did release him, yeah.
So is he a free agent then, yeah? Mm-hmm. They go get him, they're fine. That is basically, that's their little talisman. We used him wrong. We had him, and he did really well, but he wasn't good enough. Same with when we had Hatem Ben Arfa, whatever, how he is.
Hatem Ben Arfa, yeah.
Hatem Ben Arfa. I loved it when we got him on.
He never did anything, though.
Exactly. We didn't do it. Same with Tom Ince. We didn't do well. But I will talk about this later on, the whole City one.
With Middlesbrough, as we're recording this podcast, just a couple of hours ago they announced signing a Spanish player called Bernardo. Sorry if I've got the name wrong, but yeah, they've signed a Spanish I don't know if it's an international, but they've signed a Spanish player today to go into the squad.
Fair enough.
Right, we're going to end the podcast just talking about the title favourites. Most bookies are obviously going with the 2 Manchester clubs. Man City are favourites, Manchester United second favourites, then come Arsenal, Chelsea, Tottenham and Liverpool. No sign of Leicester in the top 6.
They think they're going to be a one-hit wonder, which I think is the wrong thing.
Yeah, don't underestimate them.
Nope. It's okay, wow, yeah, they're underestimating them because they think all the players are going to go. Correct me if I'm wrong on this one, and please do on the podcast put your comment at the bottom. They have kept Mahrez, haven't they?
Looks like he's going to sign a new £100,000 a week contract.
That'll be quite good. That's a definitely good deal for him.
Also, doesn't look like Vardy's leaving either.
That is also good. I think the Vardy situation is going to wait till he comes back from the Euros.
Yeah.
Well, I hope so, because if he gets done over there, then stupid. So I think they've got to wait for that. I would swap around Chelsea and Arsenal. I'd swap around Chelsea and Arsenal and Liverpool and Tottenham.
It's a tough one.
Only because... Actually, I'm sticking with that. I'd agree with the top two because it's new managers and them two new managers love silverware. So let's see how that goes.
To be fair, I don't think Manchester United will be close to winning the title. That's my personal opinion. I think United fans are getting carried away thinking, there'll be instant success. I think it's still going to be a tough job. I reckon they'll get Champions League, but maybe not this coming season, but next season they'll push on. I reckon this could be another one of those seasons, but just better brand of football with Mourinho in charge. So it'll be more acceptable from United fans this season.
All right. Well, just to close on that, I think that's on that one is pretty right. What do you think, just off the bat, who's going down?
We haven't talked about who's going down.
Yeah, who's going down? You're going for title favourites. Who do you think's going to go down?
Bournemouth, Watford, and...
You can say them if you want, even though we'll punch you.
Burnley. As much as I don't really like Hull, I would like them to go down, but I reckon they'll stay up. I do not think Bruce will be there for much longer, though, Steve Bruce. I know you've already touched on transfers and stuff. I personally don't think
the full Bruce thing. I know I've read a couple of tweets from David Burns, who's a radio DJ in Hull on BBC Radio Humberside. He has said that he's not doing anything until the takeover's done. He's keeping his card is quite close to his chest. His card's close to his chest on this one. So we'll see how that goes out. My three to go down.
Don't go there.
No, you guys won't.
Good.
Not a chance. You will still be in the top 10. I guarantee that.
I'm hoping
you guys will be in the top 10.
for Pellegrini as the next manager.
I agree. Watford, they'll probably go. Bournemouth will be in a relegation battle, I think. Same with Burnley. They will be in a relegation battle. I think surprise outfit would be Sunderland back down there. But again, they've re-signed Jermaine Defoe.
Yeah, they've got a lot of players on new contracts. Van Aanholt signed a new deal as well. He's a good player.
So I think I actually agree with you with the three. Well, no. Well, I said Watford. Who did I say? I said Watford and Burnley in the battle. Who did I say going down though?
You said Watford definitely going down.
Watford definitely going down. Burnley in a battle and
Bournemouth in a battle. You said
Bournemouth. No. Either way, okay. I think either way. I think we're both thinking the same teams actually. To be honest, so we'll go with them three. Not in any particular order. And to be fair, in the next couple of weeks we'll know about transfers. So I think on that bombshell for our first podcast. Unless you want to add anything to it.
If you want updates on what's going on in the Premier League, follow my social media pages. Links in the description down below. Smash the like button on this podcast, and the more likes we get, we'll carry on making them because we've really enjoyed making this first one, haven't we?
And even if you don't, we'll still make them because we love football. And other ones we'll do, like I said, we'll give you links to all the different pages we've got. And also our fantasy football that we are going to have a head-to-head for, and we'll show little bits of that of what our teams are after the games have kind of started. So after I think it's 11:45 deadline, 11:30 deadline.
Also, this podcast will be turning into a vodcast at some point.
Yes, it will
in the future. So you will be able to see us instead of hear us.
Well, yeah. Well, you see, obviously, you're looking at the pictures now, but we're actually seeing us interact with each other, so it's fine. So you actually get to see us moving instead of just our voices. Yeah. So anyway, this is goodbye from Will and
goodbye from Phil.
See you on the next side.